Welcome back to 5 on Friday. I am Megan Arnold, one of the exercise physiologists and personal trainers at Front Street Fitness. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about mobility and why it is extremely important for everyday living and also for working productively and effectively at work. Whether you're sitting at a desk all day and you start to feel like you're having low back pain, whether you're seated in a chair driving a bus, whether you're out in the field lifting equipment or perhaps lifting patients, it's really important for the body to be able to function. If you think about your body like your house, let's think about, I don't know, like a sliding glass door in your house. And if it's sliding nice and smooth across that track, it's real easy to open and close. And then it starts to get a little bit out of alignment, and you really have to push because it's like sliding and grinding. The track's gonna get worn and torn over time. And it's very similar with the body. The definition of mobility is the ability of a joint to actively move through a full range of motion without restriction. So yes, mobility does require the muscles to be flexible, but it also requires mind-muscle connection so that you can feel how your body is being held and you can also control it through the full range of motion. And awareness is key. A lot of times I'll meet a client for the first time and they're not aware that they may be holding one side higher than the other because their body's been doing it for so long. And that's one reason why it's really important to add some sort of mobility work throughout your day. It doesn't necessarily need to be a long session. It could be a little short movement, maybe after breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just so that body remembers. If you're never lifting your arm above your head, and if you're just down typing and driving with your arms next to your side all day long, then you're going to start to lack that mobility through that shoulder joint because you're not used to lifting your arm up overhead. Your body never does it. So let's go through 3 very simple, now I'm not saying easy, they do take work, but very simple movements that you can do to improve your range of motion in a lot of the muscle groups and joints of the body that we use every single day. So shoulders is key, and that's what we're going to start with first. Now, I'm using a barbell because I'm in the fitness center, but this can be done with a PVC pipe, a broom, anything that's solid, and you actually want it to be as light as possible. So you're going to start with a nice wide stance, be nice and comfortable, retract those shoulders back and down into their pockets, and you want to grip nice and wide. That's an error that I often see is if you're gripping too close together, it's going to be very challenging. So grip as wide as you can so that you can clear your head. And you also want to keep like a nice loose grip. So no white knuckles here. Engage through your core. Everything's going to stay nice and tight. And you're just going to bring that barbell up or that broomstick up and then let your shoulders come back as far as you can. And then come all the way back up and around and then back down. And this piece of equipment isn't sliding very well in my palms because it's metal, but it actually works much better if you do have a broomstick or a PVC pipe because it can swivel in your palm because you really just want it to slide because your goal here is to really work that ball and socket joint in the shoulder and do it with control, do it mindfully. There's no need to fly through it. And it's also a really good opportunity for you to become more aware of areas that may be lacking in mobility. So that definition without restriction, if you're getting to a spot that's kind of tight or crunchy or just uncomfortable, then that's your body's way of telling you, hey, let's continue to work through that because that area is uncomfortable for me. The next movement I'm going to show is for the hips. All you're going to do, and I'm just using this now because I'm standing without a wall next to me, but you can certainly use your desk, a wall, anything for support. You want to stand on one foot, maybe stack your hips so everything's in alignment, and then you're going to bring your one knee up to about 90 and 90 and then make a big circle. So you're really trying to like draw, as I work on balance, you're really trying to draw a circle with your knee, okay? Because you're moving that hip. And then you can go in the opposite direction. And if I had an ink pen on my knee, I would be trying to make as big of a circle as I could. And then obviously you're gonna switch to the other side, doing both directions. Why am I not just doing it without holding on? that's totally okay, but then you're really gonna be focusing on that balance component. And sometimes you gotta decide, okay, do I wanna work on the biggest range of motion I can in the hip for mobility, or do I wanna be working on my balance? Because as you're working on your balance, your range of motion might get a little smaller. So it's okay to hold on, okay? Really focus on, why am I doing a movement? What is the goal of the movement? Always ask yourself, why? Before every movement. Lastly, our spine. Our spine is very, very important. And if we're not used to moving our spine in different directions, we get tight, our back hurts. You know, every time we stand up, we make that groaning noise. I know we've all done that. Cat-cow, very simple. You'll come down to a 4-point quadruped shape, and you're going to inhale, and as you inhale, drop the belly button, lift the tailbone, and also lift the chin and the chest. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, and really round that upper back, just like a cat would if it was scared. And then you inhale and you come back up, and then you exhale and come back into your cat. So those are 3 movements. You can do 5 to 10 repetitions for each movement. And as I said earlier in the segment, you can connect those movements to habits that you do every single day. With mobility, small chunks throughout the day is extremely effective. So we all need to eat. So maybe you do these movements after breakfast, after lunch, and after dinner. Something that you habitually do every day so that the body gets used to doing those movements. Because it's important to remember, our body gets really good at what we ask of it. And if we don't ask it to do much and we're just seated all day long, then we go out and we are working in the field and we lift a patient, and that's when we can get injured because our body's not used to doing that. It's like, hey, what's happening here? So protect your body. Oftentimes mobility is overlooked because we focus on other things. So if you are new to this, try it and see how good you feel. Your body's your best teacher and it'll tell you. So thanks so much, and I will see you at the next segment.